of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
And before you start having them, you got to make sure you change you. If not, you just going to pass on that illness to the next to the next generation.
And this conversation this morning, I had this conversation this morning with an individual, and I was trying to get to look into something. And the analogy was, we talked about marriage and society today, and she was trying to equate, saying that back then, in the day we call it, 30s, 40s, 50s, we had marriages in our communities, not African communities in this moment. And how today's society, because we have so many freedoms, you have less marriages today, people living together having children out of wedlock. So I told him, and we got into the Bill Cosby thing. I said, the reason why Cosby's in jail, not so much that the thing that he done with those women, but he broke the divine law, which you don't want to acknowledge first. He had committed adultery against his wife. Now, the effect, what Yahweh was talking about, the karma, came on him with all the things that transpired in his life that caused him to be put in jail.
Right.
This individual told me, no, he went to jail because he broke the constitutional law. I said, no, he broke the divine law first, which you want to negate and don't want to talk about.
This goes back to...
So I said again, the land may believe, so the laws of this land have become greater than the laws of the Creator.
See how
and she was like, I didn't look at it like that.
Right.
But because I said, but the karma, I said, nobody wants to connect dots. He didn't connect his dots from hanging out with Playboy, you happened in the Bunny Mansion.
Right.
Doing what he was doing with those women. It ain't the women of all colors. It ain't just one particular set of women. You had drugged them, did these things, but the first thing he went against his contract with the Creator and being married.
Yeah. And
so now this is the effect. If people will skip all that and get what's going on now with just the laws of the land. The laws of the land are broken off from the supreme laws, the divine laws, and refashioned what you call laws of this land.
Right.
Nobody want to talk about.
Nope.
But we in the make believe like we shared this conversation again. But you was going to say something.
No, Holy Queen has said something as far as talking about generation to generation.
Yes.
And to me, I found it like, somewhat appalling, but it's just a part of the same systematic thing that they've been doing since the inception of this land of make-believe.
Right.
Where they separate the generations of our children to destroy our history.
Yes.
And you never really get a chance to appreciate your history unless you get to a point in your life where you realize how your history is relevant to you in this moment.
Right.
Just like how they try to, they set up these devices of separation with between the most recent one I come in contact with that was pretty disturbing. But karma, we call Ahezaah's law, in which we call karma takes care of things.
Right.
With this whole Elijah Muhammad thing. Now, you got all these people, these generations of people, Holy Queen, you were around during that generation of Elijah Muhammad. You got a chance to see the miracle of Elijah Muhammad. Our people that refuse to follow Elijah Muhammad has made it their duty to pass on an illegitimate story about Elijah Muhammad. When our people were out there taking the front lines and taking the front stands to better our community and policing ourselves, where we didn't need outside policing, and the whole miracle of Elijah, and the people that were never even involved in the Nation of Islam now having opinions and so-called facts about what happened with Elijah, where the children are totally disconnected, don't know nothing. Only thing they know is movies. They cut on the movie and they believe that this person's story about what happened is what actually happened.
That's the make-believe again.
The land of make-believe.
I have a question. How does this fact check work? Y'all can tell I'm old school. When you fact check,
a lot of times you could...
You mention facts. What's the right facts?
A lot of times, and that's something I got to tip my hat to this generation about, is because a lot of this generation, as opposed to previous generations, that they have a lot more tools and resources. And one thing I can't say about this generation, the ones that everybody considers to be wild, is they do check facts. But in their research, they have to be very careful to not just accept the information that they get, but if they have a hunch that it's more, do your investigation a little bit more. Get the dictionary, find out what these, you got an app on your phone, dictionary.com, right after you get finished with the Google, go to read exactly what that word means if you don't know what it means. But as far as fact checking, these things are, the truth is documented. The truth is documented about different things, just like the truth about Malcolm X apologizing to Elijah Muhammad after the so quote unquote beef between him and Elijah. That's documented on YouTube. You can look it up, but I see Spike Lee didn't put that in his movie.
Of course not.
Right. Yeah.
Nor did the people that represented Elijah in this day and time come to the nation of Islam speak about that.
Right.
Just like people who talk about King today, they push King up with the dream.
Right.
But people don't quote this that King said before he died. I've integrated my people to a burning building. He said that before he died. I've integrated my people into a burning building.
And he said a lot of heavy stuff even in his
Before he got-
earlier writings,
before he
when
got killed.
I found something last night.
That's why he was killed.
And I found something last night that was really, really heavy.
Yeah.
And this, the irony of you guys speaking about it, and I want to do my fact checks on it. But Martin Luther King's lawyer has an audio about how he really died and how he didn't die from a bullet. He died in the hospital. The doctor saw
I saw that.
and was spitting on
I
him.
watched that last night. Yeah, funny you said that.
Now for the young people, not these old people that's still living in the land of make believe, but you young people that want to be free from this nonsense that these ones before you are feeding you. You do your fact checks and you stand on truth against these older people that's leading you astray.
Right.
Yeah, wow. That right there, what you said was deep.
Because because it's the generation before that has failed, the ones that didn't listen to Elijah, the ones that turned away from the Lord's messenger, the ones that they try to turn us away from.
And let me just explain this to you. When you start looking at people's personal life, and start integrating that with what have they actually done to better a situation, be careful. Be careful, because there's always his story, somebody else's story, then the truth. That's one. And in my personal life, unless you was behind them closed doors with me and whoever I was behind closed doors with, you don't know nothing. You're only speculating.
The Lord says in Scripture.
And my problem with this now wanting to throw dirt on Elijah is this here. He ain't even here to defend himself. How dare you cowards do this? He's not here to defend himself. Not that he needed to. But how dare you do this? Now, since we going into this land of make-believe, and this has been such a heavy topic, I'm going to go into this R. Kelly thing.
Oh, man.
I done read so many different things from people in regards to R. Kelly, but I saw something today, and I tell you, Ahezaah is always on time with time. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. R. Kelly behavior is not acceptable to me. That a grown man would behave in such a manner. See, anytime you break Ahezaah's laws and orders, to me you out of order regardless. Whether this law find you guilty or not, it's breaking the divine laws and order. But R. Kelly has an illness. That illness didn't start with R. Kelly. See, because he's a man, nobody care about where his illness came from. But if you're going to get down on him, you got to get down on the person that gave him the illness, which was the person that molested him. Because one thing about molestation, like it or not, want to play it out, want to do whatever, when a person is molested, only two things is going to happen to that person. They either going to grow to be a molester, or they're going to grow with a lot of psychological imbalance, and always going to have a fear about molesting, or about being molested again. See, molestation is a serious thing. But there's only two outcomes from that. Most people that's very hot-natured and have no control over their sex drive is people that have been involved with molestation. For most part.
Right, we never speak in absolutes on this
You
shit.
know,
Yeah.
I'm not in absolute but for most
But it's
part.
something to investigate.
But
Definitely.
it's
Oh, yeah.
something for you to look at.
Yeah.
A lot of, and let me just explain this, and like I said, this is not a black-white thing,
No.
this is a truthful thing.
That's what it's all about.
And not that I'm giving black people a pass, because
Oh,
I'm
no.
not.
I'm gonna get on that when
But
you finish.
molestation, we gotta realize where molestation came from.
Yes,
They enslaved our people.
yes.
Then they raped the women and the men.
And the
Don't
men.
think
Raped
they
the men
raped,
from the
raped the
children.
From the
women.
children.
They raped the women and the men and the children. Why you ain't throwing them under the bus? I'm not saying that R. Kelly ain't got a problem. I'm not saying that he ain't wrong. But I'm saying he becomes big news. But if you try to take molestation back to slavery, that won't be big news. Why? Because that puts the light on the truth of a thing.
Right.
And when we get caught up in the little news, we
become
forget
the
the big news.
We become the big news.
Because that's where it started from.
Right.
Molestation did not start with R. Kelly. And it won't end with R. Kelly. And you busy looking at R. Kelly because our people are so busy looking
look at the
at
Catholic
these people
Church.
that they raised.
Let's look at the Catholic
No,
Church.
wait a
Oh,
minute.
excuse
Y'all
me,
so
I'm sorry.
busy looking at people y'all have raised. People we as a community have raised R. Kelly to a place he shouldn't have been raised
In the
to.
first place.
See, if we raised Ahezaah and not R. Kelly, we wouldn't even have these problems.
Right.
But
Right.
he didn't deceive us. He
He
called
deceived.
himself the Pied Piper.
Yes.
It ain't his fault that you didn't look it up in the dictionary. Because he already told you what he was
Go to the
about.
Pied Piper.
He already gave you his videos and his songs, let you know what he was about, but you let the freaking you come out. And you didn't
Right.
care. Because you was too busy stepping in the name of love.
Believe not to fly.
And believing that you could fly beyond your own truth.
Make
And
believe.
know and land of the make believe that we live in.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing, the other flip side of this is this here, my people. You better look in your own closet.
I was about to say that.
You
Yeah.
better look at your own family. I'm quite sure you focusing on R. Kelly and you ain't looking at the rapists in your family.
Auntie, yeah. Daddy and mom.
Because I'm telling you, if you start asking questions,
He gonna
if you
Your
start
family
paying
secrets.
attention,
Yeah.
you'll know that people in your family got some loose fingers too. And I'm not trying to downplay what R. Kelly did. I'm just trying to put a light on truth.
And that's the thing with the shit.
And this brother said today, and I had to laugh when I was watching. I was on Facebook. He said, "Okay, R. Kelly, one man, and we all on him about this molestation." He said, "I'm right with you with that," but he said, "Let us not stop there. Let us look at how we allowed our own people to feed us drugs and gun violence.
Yeah.
Let's look at how we allowed that music to soak into our community
That's what
where we
we
can't
feed
control our
These
kids.
so-called. Yeah, all
We
these-
can't control our kids from going and shooting up everybody, killing and wearing these colors. R. Kelly did his thing, but let's look at these rappers that helped develop all this homicide to
And they,
destroy our people. Why do you think white men let all these black entertainers rise? Because they has helped their cause. That's why I said we're insignificant.
Right.
Because we're going to kill up each other.
Anyway.
We've been doing that.
Yeah.
And if we ain't dead, we're in prison. So our population has decreased tremendously since the time of Elijah Muhammad.
Oh yeah.
But you can't get a brother out here. Women marrying brothers in prison because they know it ain't no men out here because all of them is in prison. You better look at that. By the time they 16, they doing time. 16, 15,
By the
some
time.
of them 14,
That's by design again.
doing time. And I'm not talking about 6 months. I'm talking about years.
For crimes that's now legal.
That are legal now, right.
Like
Yeah.
marijuana.
Yeah.
Marijuana, right.
So my whole thing is the land that we make believe in. See, we have allowed them to erase the Lord Most High from us.
Yes.
They have taken that and erased it with their constitution,
And politics.
where their politics, their laws, their designs.
Voter die.
The so-called science.
Yeah, science.
Science.
Voter die. Where all those voter die? Where was those voter die people when
The government
when
shut
the
down?
government shut down? Where y'all at?
Yeah, voters was
Where y'all
smart.
at?
People that always trying to
All
solicit
that,
you in the
it's your
vote.
fault, this and that. Only the Lord can save you. Y'all putting power into these people that want to be in power so they can take advantage of you. 700 million, the dude guy that was on TV talking about, the small percentage of people
Oh,
not
okay,
getting.
number guy.
88,000.
Yeah, and he worth $700 million. Donald
He
Trump's
talked
friend
that.
that got locked up yesterday,
He didn't go- he didn't got locked
Roger,
up, yeah.
he got a book, and this is Donald Trump's long-term friend. And I'm not going into the whole politics thing. I'm just pointing things out so we could possibly connect the dots here. Like, we're talking about accepting stupidity, like at its lowest form. You're talking about a guy who in his book who says absolutely admit nothing.
And then what Trump doing?
Don't always spin it. Like it's documented. Roger, whatever his name is documented.
Yeah.
And these are the people that you put. And I'm speaking to Caucasian people. You know what I mean? Because let's not separate this thing from color.
It's not right.
This is not a color thing. Like everybody needs to open up to this revealing that's happening because it's right before your eyes, but you can make believe all you want to.
I'm gonna show you the
But it's
make-believe
being
rule.
revealed.
I'm gonna-
It's being. I'm sorry, brother.
No. I'm gonna show you the make believe rule right now. This so-called feminism movement that white women are part of. How many people know that when Donald Trump got voted in, 53% of them voters were white women who voted him in? The feminism that you talking about.
He said grab bottom.
Yeah, same like round by the vagina. That guy. Who should be in jail himself. You talking about R. Kelly, he should be on that list too, or molesters, and pedophile, or whatever else you want to call him. He should be on that list as well. But like Holy Queen was saying, because they always keeping us distracted. Look at everywhere else, they playing the three-card money with society.
Right.
That includes all people. You looking this way, you have made R. Kelly the poster boy for pedophilia and child molestation.
What about his fans?
But again, it ain't just his friend. But if you're gonna get him, you gotta go up the chain. He's gonna go to highest offices in politics. He had a scandal that they kept undercover called the Pizzagate. But the politician, it was a piece of smaller in D.C. where they were getting young boys in there, was connected to the pages and where young boys were getting through the political offices of the politicians, pedophilia. But they don't keep our people at the face of every ill in the society. Drugs, guns, molestation.
Just like we got to be the poster boys for that. R. Kelly got to be the poster boy for pedophilia. All these
People of
poster
color,
boy people.
always.
Everything in design in place. And let me go back to
Go ahead,
something I was
go ahead.
saying because I don't, when I say what about his fans, I don't want to make it seem like I'm attacking.
Or
his
mostly
fans.
women, no.
But it's mostly they found
They
the
female.
girls, the girls that accused him was at front and center at his
His
show.
birthday concert.
At his birthday concert. No, not the birthday concert. It was another concert.
They were
where
saying, take
they
these
was-
hostages in
they
that
was-
show.
They was
Crazy.
they was grown women. They was grown women. It's mind blowing. It's like, yo, we know. All right, let's keep it. Let's get into genetics a little bit. And Holy Queen, stop me if I'm off base here.
Okay.
We as men know that women are smarter than us. How is it that this singer has been able to manipulate a part of the human gender that's known for being the greatest of the greatest
Forgive
wit?
me, I think when I listen to the news, I'm just driving and I might hear a blip here, a blip there. I'm at that point, but did you say that they're grown women? Are they
Yeah, come on, they are
dressing
His
as
wife
His
up
biggest
there
fan.
talking, acting like she a victim. They got videos of her online cheering him on. I could talk
That's
about
my
him, but I ain't
baby
gonna let.
Yeah.
This is the make believe.
That's a sickness. That's an illness that we have in our
Well,
community.
the whole thing is this.
Not
here.
gonna go too far.
The whole thing is this here. Any young girl he touched, the police department worked the same whether you are Kelly or
Right.
Donald Jones. The police department works the same. As parents, you didn't see nothing wrong with that. But we
That's part of the
should.
problem too.
But we should have a problem. No, you should have a problem. Somebody ain't getting paid. That's why it's a problem.
That's all it's about.
That's why it's a problem. Somebody ain't getting their palms greased. Because after all this came out, then they showed that P. Diddy had a child with a 15-year-old and he was 20-something years old.
Elvis' wife was 12.
Elvis Presley's wife was 12 years old. He moved her in his house. She was 12. But white people say, y'all could go after that nigga R. Kelly, but you ain't coming out after our God.
Our God.
Not after our people.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cheer you on as you lynch your own people.
But
you ain't lynching ours.
Roman Polanski. Goes on.
You ain't lynching ours. I'm not saying that what R. Kelly did was not wrong. What I'm saying is that we are so busy going after our people, we never attack. See, we want to pull the leaf off the tree instead of going down in the root of the tree.
The problem, right.
If you want to solve the problem, you got to go to the root of the problem.
Right.
Don't wait till the tree grow and then take the leaf off and think you cured the tree. Because next spring the tree gonna grow more leaves. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm telling you. You can't solve a problem once the leaf is grown on it. You got to treat the tree.
Yeah, we are.
And we don't never want to deal with the truth.
Yeah.
And we deal with the truth and we sit down, we have conversation about the truth with our children.
Right.
Then maybe we could stop things from repeating itself. But if we don't deal with the truth, if we don't deal with the truth,
we in the live studio.
We live in the audience,
It's okay, baby. If we don't, just like we got to deal with this truth, we got a baby crying.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're human. But we have to take care of ourselves. If we just ignore it and act like the baby ain't crying, we subject to have this baby to grow up to be something ill and nasty and destroy our So I'm thankful that Ahezaah calls her to cry, because just in that instance, it just shows how much that we have to deal with what's currently in front of reality. And we got a bunch of leaf pluckers around here picking off what they want to pick and choose from for us to be mad at.
And the thing is, when things happen, you have to say, oh, Ahezaah, oh, Lord Most High, why you allowed this to happen? Because nothing happens outside of the Lord Most High will. And the whole thing is, you could think that you have the right to get mad at the Lord, but remember that law and order, that karma.
Yes.
See, we could blame things on the Lord, but the Lord said, all good is from me.
Right.
And all that other stuff is from you, but it's still from me. You might look at that as a paradox. But it's not.
It's not.
It's not. But how many people can accept the truth? Because anything bad that before you, you have done something to cause that to be.
Right.
Whether you're going to take the responsibility for it or not, you have caused that thing to be. Now, the thing that you may look at as ill or bad may be the best thing for you. You just don't have the mindset to look at it in the right light and accept it.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I know that I've been fired many a time from jobs. And people are like, oh, I'm so sorry. What you sorry for me for? But that's a natural thing for people to say. But when people get fired, I don't say, oh, I'm sorry. I say, okay, let's see what the Lord going to do next.
Right.
Let's see what's going to happen next. Every time I got fired, I always got something better. And don't mean better pay, but it may be
a better peace of mind.
Absolutely.
That's it.
See, everything we deal with in this society, we deal with it on the way that a group of people want us to deal with. We think success is cars, house, money,
material
big
things.
Dogs,
big
old gold chains weighing us down around our neck. We look at going here, going there. We look at that as success. Why we look at that as success? Because we have been conditioned to look at that as success. That's only your success, and that's your religion, your way of life.
We've been conditioned for that, for someone else's benefit, or what they believe, or what they make believe is a benefit. But we all going into, from the earth we came, The earth shall return.
Right.
Well, the body is for
Well, the
Now,
body.
the same
the
people,
body.
like Holy Queen was saying, the same people that taught us this thing to open, to cherish and honor the thing, abhor these things, become idols to most people.
Right.
These same people who have the wealth and they're not happy. So that goes out of that coin. The wealthy people are not happy. They don't really want to commit suicide, kill themselves, take the drugs, everything,
Or
the
create
numb
all
something.
this chaos.
No
That's
mental
what-
peace.
No mental peace. How you said it the best. He would give all his wealth for one day of peace. Of peace. But people don't know what the peace is.
And look at how all these rich people cause all this chaos.
Right.
You think if you was a happy, well-balanced individual, that you would find time to cause all this chaos? Trump always talking about how rich he is, and look at all the chaos he's causing.
He got like a permanent.
He got money enough to he had enough money to bring about a lot of solutions. Instead, he rather bring about a lot of chaos.
And division.
And so, and I always wonder, if you got all that money, what are you gonna do with it?
Can't take it with you.
That's what I like about Bill Gates. He's more balanced. He ain't trying to hoard up more, and he try to do good with it. But if you got all that, like when you pass on, you're not taking it with you. Now, if you leave it for me, I'll probably spend it for you. But you ain't taking it with you. So you ain't taking that which you have a abundance of and trying to do good with it. You understand what I'm saying?
They're hoarders most
But
of the time.
Yeah.
even though you have all that money, you ain't happy. You know, people go on trips and they do all kinds. Do you know why people bungee jumps and do them all these crazy activities?
Looking for peace.
They trying to satisfy something in them.
Yeah.
And them trying to satisfy that emptiness in them, they don't have no fear of Ahezaah.
Nope.
Now Ahezaah may cause that cord to break.
Snap.
Because they are so full of confusion and anxiety and everything that they don't look at the danger in what they doing. They just looking for the next thrill. And the next thrill. And the next thrill. And that's all they'll be doing for the rest of their life, is looking for the next thrill. And once that thrill is over, they right back at square one with that big
Looking for the next
emptiness.
high. That's what happens.
Yeah.
See, everybody got an addiction, like you said before, some
Everybody.
form of fashion. It might not be physical, but those who trying to seek pleasure and can't find contentment and peace, they look for that adrenaline rush in something, and that's the society, and that's by design again too.
Right, yeah.
Because the world is such a high pace,
Yeah.
distract you from going within.
Just like, oh no, I'm sorry, brother.
That's okay, no.
I just was going to tag right into
Go
what
ahead.
you're going. Just like this whole cell phone thing. It's like the biggest. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah,
funniest
yeah,
thing
yeah.
to me. People act like the cell phone is a lung. It's an umbilical cord.
To some
Like
degree,
they
it's a part
cannot.
of
Like
it.
they cannot exist without it. Our lives has been conditioned down to a gadget that's no bigger than 10 inches.
Yeah.
I was on a trip. I wasn't on a trip. I was seeing somebody off on a trip. They were catching a train. My mother. And train was delayed, and we went into the waiting area.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember times, because my mom was taking trips before, and I've done it numerous times. And I know when we go in the waiting area, it was semi-social. People, what time is it? What's the weather like? How are things? Where
Where
are
you
from?
going? Yeah.
Yeah, where you go? Where you going?
Small talk.
And now
Yeah.
we go in there, no conversation. This person over there is in their phone. Another person over there is in their phone.
The paradox and
Literally
all that. Yeah.
Separate worlds. Everybody's it all got
Social
something got
media,
their
but
backs turned.
you don't
No
recognize
socialization.
the person next to you.
Like
Like,
Yahweh was talking about the book of Revelation, the revealing. But they talk about the mark of the beast. This is all a part of that system. You can't buy or sell without this mark in your hand. People have become, this their new God. This their new religion.
Yeah. That's
Phone.
what I know.
Computers, video games, television. That's the new God. They replaced the creator, the Lord Most High, with material gods, the idols that we talk about in the scriptures. They have become new idolatry. They're new idolatrous people now. And this is the new thing that takes the place of something. And they won't. And when this go away, they'll create a new one, a better version, a faster version, to keep you distracted in the land of make believe.
I guess we do another show. I want to bring back. I did see a story of a former employee, I think of Microsoft, something like that, who was exposing that the programming in the Microsoft programming is designed to create addiction.
It's mental stimuli, true. That's true.
Yeah.
We got
mental stimulus.
It's almost we got about like 3 more minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good point, though.
the whole thing is, people may say, oh, they religious fanatics. They do all these things to take you away from the divine laws and order that the Lord sends down for you. See, if you stay in harmony with Ahezaah's divine laws and order, then the world will just flow. Everything will be perfect. We won't have no need for government. We won't have no need for marketing. We won't have no need for a lot of stuff that we feel we have a need for. Right. So they can't do that. They like in competition, but there's no competition with the Lord Most High. The Lord said, I call you and the devil call you.
Right.
Now, if you turn to the devil, then I'm going to let the devil have you. You understand? So,
Period.
The whole thing is, the world is out of order, so that's why it's all chaotic. That's why we focus on stuff that we don't need to focus on. It's to focus on that so we can ignore what's really going on. And they can grab our attention with a cell phone and a television. And people that entertain us, they ain't got to worry about us peeking the whole card, seeing what's really going on. And then they want to put fear in us. If you worry about having a wall to keep certain people out, then I feel sorry for you. What you need to fear is what Ahezaah showed you when they let the levee break.
Yeah.
It said, when I want the water to flow, can't nothing keep it back.
Nope.
Nothing. Those is the things you need to concern with. What the Lord gonna let loose on me if I'm not one who surrenders to it in righteousness?
Right.
What is it gonna let loose on me? Cause I mean, last week was so cold, man. If you stayed outside and took your glove off, I'm not talking about 5 minutes. I'm talking about 2 minutes. Your hand felt like it was gonna fall off. If you see all these catastrophes happening, and not only with the weather and everything, but the Lord is allowing these catastrophes to happen with these people, turning these people crazy where they becoming harmful. And they talking about terrorists. We need to watch the person next door and see if they're the terrorists. That boy just killed 5 people in the bank for no reason.
Oh man, time goes so fast on this program, man. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in, those in the TV audience, those in our live studio audience. May the Lord bless you to take in what it caused us to share with you all today and ponder and think about it. Till we meet again, may Ahezaah's peace and other blessings be known about everyone's being. This has been an A.H.A.D moment of calm before the storm. You can reach us at Post Office Box 8795 still, Newark, New Jersey. Is it still open?
Yes.
Praise be to Ahezaah, then if that occurred, you know.
Third house.
Or at thirdhouse@yahoo.com, our email address. You know.
THIRDHOUSSE@yahoo.com.
This has been an A.H.A.D moment to calm before the storm.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right?